Hey, sister girls, it's your big sister Abby Rodell, and this is Full Roster, your go to dating podcast for advice, hilarious stories, tough love, and a deep dive into the shit show that is the dating world. Welcome to Full Roster. Hello, sister girls. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode of Full Roster. Last week, I had to use a filler episode. Thank you for all that listened. I have just been traveling back and forth from Kansas City to Omaha like crazy. And anytime I travel a lot, I feel like I'm always on the verge of getting sick. I feel like I just pop vitamin C tablets like it's candy when I'm traveling like that. But yeah, the last few weeks I've been going back and forth. And so it's been a lot. But I used a filler, so thank you for watching. But this week we're going to talk about what we were supposed to talk about last week, which is the moment when you catch your man cheating. I'm actually really looking forward to this one because there's only been one guy in my life who has cheated on me, and that was my narcissist ex. And I mean, I've caught him cheating so many times, but they talk their way, back into your life and everything. So I will share a few of those moments with you guys. And I'm looking forward to share these other stories as well because it's just insane sometimes how they get caught. First, we're going to start with roster rundown though. And boy, do we have a lot to talk about. This is a heads up that there is going to be talk of rape in a roster rundown. So if that is a trigger for you or something that makes you uncomfortable, definitely feel free to, move on through roster rundown or skip through the next couple of minutes of this. So just a heads up, this is a trigger warning. We will be talking about this. The CNN deep dive. I wanted to talk about this last week, but obviously I didn't record last week, so we're talking about it this week. And I did some research on this because I don't want to say any of the facts wrong. So if you see me reading from this card, that is why. So let's just start off with the 62 million visits in 1 month. That was not to one single website, but basically a global network of websites where men are talking about how they are drugging their wives, or just in general, men are talking about drugging women. Most of them are their wives, though. I wish I had a statistic on that, but these men are posting into these websites how they're drugging these women and then assaulting them, raping them. On the websites, they're sharing videos and photos of the assaults. They are giving other men tips on the kinds of dosage and the medications that they are giving these women to make them pass out so that they can rape them and so that they can avoid detection. So the case that triggered this investigation from CNN was the Pellico rape case in France. Dominique Pellico was caught after 10 years of drugging and raping his wife. He was also letting men come in and assault her. I think there was 12 that they might have brought into the investigation, but maybe more. Okay, they said dozens of men. So sounds like more than 12. The crazy thing with this is that she would have never known that this was happening. The police caught him doing something else. He was filming underneath women's dresses. So they caught him doing that, which prompted a search in his phone. And that's how they found all of the videos of him raping his wife. Like, isn't that freaking insane, you guys? I'm just flabbergasted. 62 million logins in a month is insane. Obviously, I wish we could know how many men that equals out to. It's just freaking scary. I mean, it just goes to show you that you just don't know who the hell you're sleeping to. It is so insane to me and scary and disgusting. Sue Bird and Megan Rapinoe split up. This is another one I wanted to talk about last week, you guys. They were together for nearly 10 years. They announced it on their podcast, A Touch More. It seems like it is very amicable. Both of them are so imperative to women's sports. I mean, they're both gold medalists in their, respective sport. So it's just crazy. It's unfortunate that they're breaking up. I mean, they were such a pillar when they get seen out together. They're like the power couple of women's sports. And I felt kind of like a kid when like a kid being sat down by their parents and told that, they were getting a divorce. So I just think it's unfortunate. I hope that both of them thrive and do their own things and, of course are happy. Megan the Stallion and Clay Thompson. What an unfortunate turn of events. Clay, you're a dumbass, dude. I don't get it. So Megan the Stallion posted something on her story and I wrote it down to read. She said, cheating, had me around your whole family playing house, got cold feet, holding you down through all of your horrible mood swings and treatment towards me during your basketball season, and now you don't know if you can be monogamous? Bitch, I need a real break after this one. Bye, y'all. I know it's crazy. And this is again, he came out and said he can't be monogamous. He's cheating on her literally after playing house, bringing her around the family, making her feel like a wifey. I just don't understand men. Why be in a relationship when you could be out having sex with literally anybody? Anyone you want? Go mess around with whoever you want, no strings attached if you're not in a relationship. It just makes no freaking sense, dude. It's like they want a relationship, they want a woman to hold them down, but they also want to do whatever the hell they want to do at the end of the day. So then, after everything kind of went up in flames, Megan released a statement via her rep, which said, I've made the decision to end my relationship with Clay. Trust, fidelity, and respect are non negotiables for me in a relationship. And when those values are compromised, there's no real path forward. I'm taking this time to prioritize myself and move ahead with peace and clarity. That's a great statement to me. I wish every woman moved forward with that after they got cheated on, genuinely. Obviously, I haven't before. Like I said at the beginning of this podcast, I gave my narcissist ex 100 chances. I mean, who knows? But I did it, one time with one guy, and I'll never do that again. The cheating thing, the lying, I will never do that again because I just think if you take them back, they will be good to you for a little while and grovel and try to earn your trust back, but it is just a matter of time before they reoffend. And they know you've taken them back before and you will take them back again. And you have taught them that they can treat you a certain way. So I'm glad. I hope she sticks to this. I think it's a great statement, but yeah, I hope she stays away from him. I think that shows a lot of power from her. I just don't understand how these men be cheating on tens like this. Obviously, I know it's never the woman's fault, but damn, it just seems like he had everything. What more did he want? The chase. He loved the chase of getting new women, and women are throwing themselves at him, obviously, because he's an NBA player. The videos of like people roasting him online and showing like all of his bad plays and stuff in the NBA is actually cracking me up. Like I live for those right now. I hope this next season for him is pure hell. Like we need to keep our foot on their necks, girls. Seriously. Until I have sponsorships, here's a quick plug, sisters. If you're all about fashion, fitness, and lifestyle inspo, head over to my LTK. I'm dropping my favorite looks, workout must-haves, and items I use on the daily. The best part about it is you can shop everything in one place. Follow me at Abby Rodell and get in on all of the looks I am serving. Welcome back, sister girls. In this segment of Sister Circle, we are talking about the moment that you found out your man was cheating on you. I wonder how Megan Thee Stallion learned that Klay Thompson was cheating on her. If a video or something got sent to her, maybe she might have got the "Hey Girly" message. Who knows? So before we jump into stories, and I have several stories, so I'm going to try to get through this as quick as possible. We're going to talk about in the moment reactions that you have when you find out that you first got cheated on. There is shock or dissociation, rage, throwing things, confronting them immediately when you're pissed off, denial, trying to make yourself think that it's not as bad as it seems, downplaying what he did, excusing his actions, freezing, or saying absolutely nothing. And it just kind of brings the question, do you confront them immediately or do you gather more evidence? I'm more of a confront immediately type of gal, but I just don't think that there is a right or wrong way to react to something like that. Obviously, everybody reacts in different ways. But I'm definitely a confront immediately type of person. I'm confronting you while the info is fresh on my brain and I'm not letting you talk me out of it. When you realize that you've been cheating on, I feel like there is like this aftermath phase where you're also going through 100 different emotions and phases. And again, this looks completely different for everybody. There's the obsession phase when you're constantly checking their social media, trying to figure out where they're at, essentially stalking them. You might lose confidence or definitely comparing yourself to the other person, the other woman or person who is involved. I think that happens all the time. And I hate that that happens. He's going to cheat on you regardless of what you look like, what you have going on, your career, your successes, your ambitions, all that stuff. He's going to cheat on you no matter what. So why compare yourself to the other person? And then it, of course, impacts your future dating. You know, the trust issues that you might have, the red flags that you're looking for or avoiding, it definitely will impact that. To start us off with the stories and all of the write ins, which thank you so much, Sister Girls, for writing all of these in. I really appreciate it. I will start off by telling my story. This is the first time in my life that I ever realized that I was being cheated on, and this was with my narcissist ex. And you guys have heard this story in episode 3 of Full Roster when I shared my narcissist story, but I will tell it again for this episode. I was in the computer lab. I was a tutor in the trio lab for our community college. Him and I, this was the second semester, him and I were in a lot of classes together because we wanted our schedules to mesh up. So we were taking a computer class together. I don't know exactly why he had this in his email, but we had an assignment that I had either sent to his email or he completed and it was in his email. I don't remember that exactly, but I was in the lab with another basketball player and he was also in our class. And so he was wanting to see what we did on the assignment. Well, I knew that the assignment was in my boyfriend's email. And so I texted or called my boyfriend and asked him for his email password so that I could get it out of his email. I don't know why I didn't ask to him to forward it to me. Like I have no idea how that went down, but I asked for his email password. He gave it to me with, I mean, zero questions at all. And I logged in. Well, when I logged into his email, I saw hundreds of Facebook messages between him and other women. He was getting notified from Facebook every time a new message came in. There were so many messages, you guys. At the time I wish that I would have printed them out, but I didn't. I didn't really know what to do. I obviously called him or texted him immediately and told him what I found and asked him what the frick, you know? So yeah, I wish I would have printed them out only because he was gaslighting the crap out of me and telling me that essentially trying to make me feel like what I saw wasn't anything bad and yada yada yada. So wish I would have printed them out for proof, but I didn't. So anyway, that is the first time that I caught him cheating. It's devastating. It changed my life, seriously. So now we're going to go into the write-ins. He texted the wrong lady. It was his daughter-in-law and was naughty talking. Oh my God. So he, instead of texting his side chick, he accidentally texted his daughter-in-law dirty messages. Oh my God, that's so bad. He got a TikTok notification on his phone from his ex, and I made him open it. Saw they had been messaging and sending hearts to each other. I kicked him out, and I'm not looking back. Good for you, girl. Damn. I wish that I would have had that back when the first time I caught my ex cheating on me. Seriously. I found a bottle of antibiotics in his truck console. Googled it, and it was exclusive to treat venereal diseases, not used for anything else. Eesh. I hope that you guys were not sexually active during that time, and I hope you went and got tested. I hope with all of these stories, all of these, finding out these men are cheating on you, I hope they're all going to get tested. Because if he's cheating on you, you don't know if he's using a condom, you don't know if they're protected. So I hope everyone, after finding out you've been cheated on, I hope you're going to get tested. That's an off topic, but seriously, go get tested. Me and my man have been together on and off for 3 years, still talking all day, every day. Come to find out, he's been talking to and going out on dates with other girls. We are still sleeping together, have cars together, saying I love you every night, very involved. How do I tell all of the other women that we are still heavily involved? What in the hell? Why do you want to tell the other women to leave him alone? Tell your man to not cheat on you. And I don't know why you still want to be with him. Oh, God, that's horrible. I can't even answer that because what I have to say about it is so mean. Because, like, I would hurt your feelings with this. And I'm really working on not doing that because anything I would have to say would not be productive to this conversation. It doesn't sound like you wanna be talked out of that relationship. It sounds like you very much still want to be in it, and you want everyone else to know not to talk to your man. Eeh, girl, I'm leaving it at that. I am going crazy over here. My ex was telling me all of this stuff about getting our family back, and he wanted to be back together with me, all for me to find him calling a girl in his call logs. I'm so confused and hurt. I am unsure of the timeline of their relationship. He tells me he doesn't know what I am talking about when I tell him I know about Sabrina. Should I call her or just let it go? At this point, I am just looking for closure. First of all, I'd call her, find out the timeline. If you're needing more details, get it from somebody else. We need to stop looking for answers from the mouth that has lied to you countless times. Why are we looking for closure from liars? You will never get the actual closure that you're looking for. If anything, if you need more details and that's the closure that you're looking for, and you need to call this girl to find out how long they've been talking, I would do that. That is absolutely something that I would do. Call her, figure it out, but then move on. My husband and I have been married for 10 years now. The past 4 to 5 have been a struggle. I was dealing with some childhood trauma, and his actions during this time only hurt our relationship. A year ago, I found out he was having sexual conversations with multiple women. He says there is nothing in person, although he almost went on a trip to visit one of them. I am committed to trying to work it out for 6 months. We are going on couples therapy. I feel hopeless. I am so hurt. He apologizes, but then gets defensive if I bring up issues or talk about how hurt I am if our counselor is not there. Only then does he see and validate my feelings. One of our children would not handle our family breaking up. Do you just continue on for the sake of your family? How many chances are you giving? In my 20s, unlimited chances. Not unlimited, but I dealt and put up with a lot of BS from my narcissist ex in my 20s. In my 30s, you get one chance. And that one chance is me giving you an opportunity to date me. And if you lie to me one time, it's done. Now, with that being said, I don't have kids. I don't have a family. I don't know what that's like. I do know that kids are very resilient. Your child might not handle it very well immediately, but eventually it will be better. And I have said this before, when you have kids and you're raising kids with a monster, you are showing them either how they should be treated from a partner or you are showing them how they should be treating a partner. And I wouldn't want either of those. The bringing up issues outside of therapy and him not taking it well, that that's a really big red flag. If he will only talk to you in therapy, that's giving major narcissism, man. Because he's putting on a front in front of the therapist, being a good guy because he's in front of somebody. The second you're behind closed doors and he's not doing that, that's such a red flag. I think you need to cut it off. You need to move on. Put your kids in therapy. You go to therapy and leave his ass in the dust. We were watching a movie in bed and he fell asleep on his back with his hands on his stomach. His Apple Watch kept going off, so I decided to look over at it, and he's got 3 messages from 3 different women. I couldn't read the whole message without touching it, but they started out with, "I miss you too," and "baby." Obviously women he's sleeping with. I got up, grabbed my stuff, and walked out of the house. Never talked to him again. Didn't need to hear a lie of an explanation. Amen. That's not seeking clarity from a mouth that lied to you, and we all need to practice that more. That if he's getting messages back from these women, he was texting them probably while he was laying next to you, which is just insane to me to think about. How fucking ballsy is that? I mean, they genuinely think that they're not going to get caught. And the Apple Watches, man, the iPads, computers, Apple Watches, they be throwing these dudes under the bus so hard because you can shut off, your phone from making noise and you can hide your phone and you can put a passcode on your phone. But your iPad and your Apple Watch and everything, it's still getting all of those messages too. I feel like that's a reoccurring theme. His phone was dinging and I thought he forgot it, but it was his old phone and was him and one of the many women he was sexting. See, the old phone got him too. That is just so crazy to me. How they just forget that there's other shit that they have that are getting these notifications. He was out late for his friend's birthday. I was there too for a while, but went home early as I had a busy day the next day. I heard him come home and lie on the couch. I woke up the next morning and he passed out on the couch with his phone face up on his chest. The phone was on, so I went to grab it to put it on the charger for him. When I looked at the screen, Snapchat was open with multiple messages from different women. He had created a secret Snapchat to message women. I opened the most recent messages and he was talking about meeting up with her where she lived. Also saved naked photos. I woke him up to dump his ass and tell him he better be gone by the time I'm home from work. We had been together for 4 years. That's crazy. Good for you for leaving his ass again. Dude, Snapchat. See, this is why I just don't mess with Snapchat that much. Like, I don't need to be talking to a guy on Snap. It just is kind of childish to me. I think it sends the wrong impression of how you want to communicate and if you're actually dating intentionally. It just opens the doors for hiding way too much and I'm not about that life. My friend told me about the other girl he had gotten pregnant with. Wow. Straight to the point. That is so crazy. Jesus. I was visiting him at school during college. A girl crawled into his bed on top of him, and surprise, there is me in bed. Like, what the fuck? After college, we had our daughter. He left his work phone at home and it kept blowing up. Thinking it was his boss, I go to pick up the phone and it was photos from another woman. It, this kind of sounds like me when I was in college with my narcissist. You know, you just give them multiple chances and you have multiple cheating stories. But a girl coming into his bed while you're in bed with them, what did you do? Did you just lay there? Like, did you beat her ass? Did you beat his ass? Like, what? Oh my God. I don't even know how I would have reacted. I wouldn't have beat her ass because she has no clue. She didn't know I was in there. But him, oh my God, I would have lit him up. That is so crazy. One time we had graduated community college, but he was still staying in the dorms for the summer before he transferred to his next school. And I had come home from a trip and I drove to our school to surprise him. I'm pretty sure he had a girl in his room looking back because when I knocked on the door, they lived in like this apartment. So it was like an apartment building with, there were 4 rooms in it and you shared the like 3 bathrooms or something like that. And then there was a living room. And one of his other football guys answered the door and it took a long ass time for him to come out. And I was just thinking like, what the hell is going on? Like what? But now looking back, knowing who he is and what kind of guy he is, he absolutely had a girl in that room. I just wonder what he said to her to get her to leave. Like she had to sneak out the window probably. Like that's so crazy to me. I heard him brag to his best friend on the phone about all the women he was with while I was taking care of the kids. Oh my God. See, that's just like my worst nightmare with friends. Like, men, please hold your friends accountable. Like, do better. Why are we not holding your male friends accountable? I just think it is so gross. I mean, obviously, him talking to his friend about it, his friend is probably, if he had a wife, probably cheating on his wife too. I mean, it's two peas in a pod, but I just don't understand how these men aren't out here holding their buddies accountable. I will never get that. I was going to send some videos to myself from his phone, and when I went to send them, another woman's name popped up as a recently texted. So I tried to find their text thread, and he had deleted all of their convos, but that definitely sold him out. One of my buddies actually just went through something like this, where she was doing the same thing, trying to send videos from her husband's phone, and the girl popped up. I don't know if I think all of the messages were still there, but yeah, this is a way that iPhones they will sell you out, man, because they when you go to text, you go to send a photo or something, it will bring up your most recently texted to try to make things faster, and that's how they're getting caught. She contacted me and said, "I think he's sleeping with both of us." Good for her. She got the "Hey girly" message. That's the "Hey girly" message is when the side chick or the other woman reaches out to you and says, "Hey girly, I hate to say this to you, but I have been sleeping with so and so and it looks like you guys might also be together." The girl sent me a Facebook message with screenshots. Again, good for her. Good for her. When you reach out and you do the "Hey girly" message, you have to send as much info as humanly possible to, help the other woman understand exactly what's going on. It's hard to deny evidence. I mean, it happens, obviously, but I too have received the "Hey girly" message. When I The second and last time that I ever dated my narcissist ex was at the very end of 2020. And I got a message from a girl in Lincoln who said that she was seeing this guy and had been with him for 5 years. That was over Instagram. The moment that she reached out to me, I knew it was over with my narcissist ex. I knew it was done because I was not about to tolerate another woman reaching out to me about my man. I don't give a shit what context it was. I do not ever want another woman that I do not know reaching out to me about my man, period. Like, I will never deal with that ever again. So I knew in that moment it was over. It didn't really matter what she had to say. It was done. I was not going to fight over women for this guy. She told me they'd been dating for 5 years. I knew that he had been married. He had told me that he was going through a divorce, just like me. He was separated. They were going through divorce, which is the exact spot that I was in. I was separated from my ex-husband. My divorce had not been finalized yet, but we were separated. And so it was a really easy thing to bond over, which sounds really silly saying that out loud. But at the time, it was something that we were bonding over because we were both going through something at the same time. So I knew he was married because he was going through divorce and he had been married for 5 years. So I messaged this Lincoln girl back and I just said, "You've been dating him for 5 years, but you know he was married. Like, he's just now getting a divorce." And of course, she knew nothing about his wife. I had talked to his wife before because of when I was dating him in college. He ended up dating her. There was overlap between him dating her and me. So her and I exchanged a lot of really mean messages back and forth back in the day when we were in college. So I knew of her. I knew her name. I then reached out to her and I sent her the "Hey Girly" message. And I just said, "I know that I'm the last person you would ever want to hear from, but Dick told me that you were divorced or getting a divorce, and I've been talking to him for a couple months. I also just got a message from this girl in Lincoln who says she's been dating him for 5 years." So we all sent our timelines back and forth to each other. I actually befriended them. It was so nice to bond over something like that. It made moving on from him so much better because we got all of the answers we were looking for from each other. So, yeah, I have sent the "Hey Girly" message and I have received the "Hey Girly" message. My fiance and I have been together for over a year and a half. A girl he used to see just messaged me that he slept with her a month into us dating. What do I do? That's really hard because, was that a one-time deal? I obviously would leave. That it would not be worth it to me if he's done it once in our relationship. I genuinely believe he'll do it again in the same relationship. I do think people can change. I don't think people can change in the same relationship because you've already shown them that they can mistreat you and that you'll stick around. So I think people can change after doing years of work and self-reflecting and maybe in a different relationship. I don't think they'll change in the same relationship. So I would move on. I do understand the struggle and I would understand why you would stay if this is a one-time deal. I would ask him about it. I would ask to look through his phone and see if he's currently talking to other people and see if he's still talking to this girl. And then you need to thank that girl for reaching out to you. I wish she would have done it sooner, obviously. But maybe she didn't find out that he was dating somebody until like they got engaged and posted it or something on social media. Who knows? Hey sisters, before we wrap up with our last segment, if you want even more behind the scenes, daily vibes, and want to get to know me on a more personal level, make sure you follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at Abby Rodell. That's ABBEYROEDEL. I share everything from fashion, fitness, and lifestyle to funny or frustrating personal moments. I'd love to see you there. Slide into my DMs and say hi. Welcome back, sister girls. I hope you enjoyed that sister circle. I always find those stories so fascinating. I just think it's something that we can all relate to. And some of the stories are just insane out of pocket. So I've got one inbox audacity. Lucky me, Instagram has brought back every single message that I ever received from 2021 to 2024. So even the people that I have blocked, restricted, all of their messages came back. It has given me a ton of content for inbox audacity. I just don't understand how that happened. The amount of time it's taking me to filter through these and make sure that I have every man in there blocked and then delete the message. It is so time consuming, but again, it's giving me some content. So this is from a while back, but it popped back up in my inbox. I love the almond shape of your eyes. They are so seductive. Like what? I mean, thank you. That's a nice compliment. But why are you giving strangers on the internet that compliment? I should have messaged back and been like, "Sir, this is a Wendy's," or something like that. But I just be blocking people. As soon as someone messages me, it's done. Blocked. That is all for this week, sister girls. Thank you so, so much for tuning in. Hope you got some laughs out of this. It's the stories are crazy, but when you look back on them, I hope that you can get some laughs out of it. The next couple of weeks I am so excited about because next I'm meeting with a woman who has a narcissist story. And when I started this podcast, a lot of it was with the intention of getting my narcissist story out there and so that I could relate to other women and other women could maybe reach out to me and share their stories. And I don't know how it looks, in the future, but I would love to get more involved in talking with women who have dealt with a narcissist or form some kind of group of women that have dealt with narcissists and do something like for the community of women that have been through this stuff. And again, I don't know what that looks like or what the path there looks like, but it is something that has been such a goal of mine because I am so passionate about it. The more that I talk about it, I think the more I feel like I'm bringing my power back, like the more powerful I feel when I talk about it. I don't really feel like a victim about it because I can share my experience and I've learned so much and grown so much from it. So I'm meeting with a woman this week and we're going to talk about her story. And I will be sharing her story next week, which I am very excited about. And then the week after that, I am going to have a special guest. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet, but I am freaking excited. It'll be so fun. The energy is going to be through the roof. I just cannot wait for you guys to watch that episode. So the next couple weeks are going to be great. If you're loving this podcast, please go follow me on all socials at Full Roster Pod. That's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. And then if you guys could subscribe to the platform that you're watching it on, YouTube, Spotify, or Apple Podcasts, that would be amazing. If you feel like going a step further, leave a comment or a review on the page or the platform that you're watching on. That just helps the platform send out my video or podcast episode to more women who have not found me yet. As always, if you have any dating related stories or you need advice and want some big sister advice, please write in. You can either email me at fullrosterpod@gmail.com or you can find me on the socials and message me your story or whatever question that you have. And I will put it in an episode where I'm just answering a bunch of random questions. Make sure you come back next week for more belly laughs and crazy dating stories. It'll definitely be a crazy dating story next week when we're talking about a narcissist. You already know. But until then, I hope your DMs are smooth and the red flags so obvious. See ya. Thank you for listening to Full Roster. You can find me on all socials at Full Roster Pod, and you can watch the video on YouTube. Like and subscribe to support the show, and come back for the next episode. See you next week.